Hello students, welcome to Akadshala. Today we are going to study about the formation of chemical formulae. But first, tell me, which sea animal has 8 hands? Yes, very correct. It is octopus. Now you all must be thinking, why are we talking about octopus in chemistry class? But, my dear students, this octopus is very much related to chemistry to learn the formation of chemical formulae. But before starting today's session, it would be great if you like this video, share this video and subscribe to our channel Akadshala. This gives us a lot of motivation to keep creating these kind of videos for you all. With the help of chemical symbols, today we will learn to write chemical formulae. But before starting anything, we should know what is chemical formula. The chemical formula of a compound is a symbolic representation of its composition. The chemical formulae of different compounds can be written very easily. For this exercise, we need to learn the symbols and combining capacity of the element. Now, we should know what is valency. The combining capacity of an element is known as valency. Valency can be, used to find out how the atoms of an element will combine with the atoms of another element to form a chemical compound. Let us understand this with a very simple example. The valency of an atom of an element can be thought of as hands or arms of that atom. Let us understand this. In the beginning, I asked you about the sea animal. What was the name of that sea animal? Yes, octopus. Now, though we know that octopus has 8 hands and humans, they have 2 hands. Now, if one octopus has to catch hold of a few people in such a manner that all the 8 arms of the octopus and both arms of all the humans are locked, how many humans do you think the octopus can hold? Hurry up children, I need an answer. Oh, absolutely correct. 4. Let us see now on the screen how it goes. Let us consider O as octopus, H humans, how many arms octopus is having? 8. How many arms humans are having? That is we people? Yes, 2. I will show the arrows, which is known as criss-cross. Now, let us see this octopus will take the valency, which we call it as 2 arms of humans, and this human will take the valency or the arms of octopus. So how do we write? O2H8. Let me write O2H8. But this is not completed yet. I need to simplify more. But how? Yes, this 2 and 8 number comes in the table of 2. I can simplify more and I can write as OH4. How it has come? 2 ones are 2, 2 fours are 8. And it has come out to be OH4. So I have written the formula for this combination, that is OH4. The subscript 4 indicates the number of humans held by the octopus. Have you understood, children? This arrow which I am showing it is known as crisscross method, which we usually or we always take help of this in framing the chemical formula. So in this way, we have understood how to frame the formula. So similarly, atoms also have arms which we call valency. Now, let us look at this. This is the chart to show valency which varies from 0 to 4. We need to remember this. The valency, its charge, its symbols, and of course polyatomic ions too. We have another chart. That is the names and symbols of some ions. Here we are seeing the polyatomic ions which I taught you in my last video. Please watch that video also. Over here, we should know that valency is equal to magnitude of charge. And we should also remember this chart. This chart and this chart is very important to frame the chemical formulae. Very, very important. Now, let us understand the rules for writing chemical formulae. Let us go for that. Rules for writing chemical formulae. Now the first rule says that we should write always metal or, which is also known as cation first, and then we should write non-metal or anion afterwards. But how? Let's see. One example. Magnesium is a metal. Cl is a non-metal. What is the valency of magnesium? +2. What is the valency of chlorine? -1. I will show the criss-cross method. And now, the second rule says, balance the charge or valency. Balance the charge or valency. That means, I will show now the last step as, that is, Mg will take the valency of chlorine and chlorine will take the valency of magnesium and it will become as, that is, Mg1Cl2. But no need to write 1 because it hardly makes a difference. So, we will write MgCl2. That's all. And this is the final formula of magnesium chloride. This is known as criss-cross method. Now let us take another example. That is, third rule says more than one polyatomic ions are written in brackets. How do we do that? Let's say calcium hydroxide. It has come in our exams. Now the teacher says write down the chemical formula using crisscross method of calcium hydroxide. I will write this first, calcium hydroxide, then the symbols, then the valency, +2 calcium, -1 hydroxide, crisscross, then I will write CaOH whole twice. Calcium will take the valency of hydroxide, hydroxide will take the valency of calcium. But the third rule I told you that the polyatomic ions are written in always and always in brackets. If by chance you write, please take a note. If you write like this, CaOH2, this will be wrong. This is correct because polyatomic ions, it's a rule. Polyatomic ions are always written in brackets and then the valency in the last, outside the bracket. The bracket is also known as parenthesis. Please quote the word, note the word. Parenthesis is also known as bracket. Bracket is also known as parenthesis because this word parenthesis is often used in your exams, in your question. So the children do not understand what does it mean, that is parenthesis. Parenthesis is nothing, the word simple bracket. So it is clear now. Let us take some few examples to make this concept of chemical formulae more easy. How? Your teacher says, please write down the chemical formula of aluminium sulfate. This is the method to write in the board exam also. So please follow it. If the teacher asks, write down the chemical formula of aluminium sulfate, on your paper, on your answer sheet, you will write down aluminium sulfate on the top first. Then the second step, I will write the symbol. I will write the formula of polyatomic ion. Then the next step, I will write down the valency of aluminium, that is +3. Sulfate is, that is -2. Then I will show crisscross over here. And then I will write down my final formula. Al will take the valency of sulfate. Sulfate will take the valency of aluminium. Al2SO4 whole thrice. Al2SO4 whole thrice. Why I have written in bracket SO4? Because rule says polyatomic ions are always written in bracket. If you do not write in bracket and without writing bracket, you write 3 over here at the base of 4, absolutely wrong, and you will get 0 straight away. So please keep it in mind. The polyatomic ions are always written in bracket, and this is your final chemical formula of aluminium sulfate. I hope this is clear. Let us take the example, next one. That is, what I will take? Sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate. Your teacher said, write down the formula of sodium carbonate. I've written sodium carbonate. Let us write down sodium, symbol Na. Carbonate, polyatomic ion, CO3. Valency, +1 because it's a metal. -2, carbonate. Crisscross, cross. Final answer coming out. Sodium will take the valency of carbonate. Carbonate will take the valency of sodium. So my final formula is Na2CO3. Now I will not write in bracket. Why? But it was a rule, ma'am. You will say, okay, ma'am, you said these are written in brackets. But children, if the sodium valency is 1, I do not put a bracket. It is the same thing. If I put a bracket, I don't have to write any number outside because it is 1. Whether I write 1 outside or not hardly makes a difference. So I will leave it as Na2CO3. This finishes your chemical formula of sodium carbonate. So students, this is all about chemical formulae today in today's session. Please go through the symbols, valency, and then frame the chemical formulae using crisscross method. Finally, I tell you again, for framing the chemical formulae, you need to revise on the daily basis the symbols and the valency and the formula of polyatomic ions on the daily basis, and this will really help you in your whole chemistry throughout, because this is the base, foundation, root of chemistry, which is really helpful in the coming chemical reactions and chemical equations, which you will see it in my next coming up videos. So for today, it is enough. So I wind up today's session. Thank you so much, children. Have a good day. God bless.